Okay, hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we're gonna try creating this amazing layout using Grid. So without wasting any time, let's go ahead and get started. So I have already opened into a place where I want to create my project. So the very first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to open up the terminal like that, and I'm going to wait until it is opened. And I'm just gonna open up my Visual Studio Code on the current directory I am in, because this is the editor that I am using. Once it is open like that, I'm going to create index.html file, and I'm just going to call it index.html like that, and I'm just going to generate boilerplates using Emmet like that, and I'm going to create a style.css file as well, and I'm just going to link it before I even forget to do so, because sometimes it tends to happen like that. So you don't want to get into that struggling. So let us start thinking about our layouts. As you can see, let us start thinking about the column. How many columns do we have here? 1, 2, 3 column, 4 column. How many rows? We have 2 rows. Let's think about 2 rows. Don't worry. If you, let's say, someone might say we have 1, 2, 3 rows. Whatever you will think, it will work. Let's see how we're going to do it. We're first going to create a container, and I'm just going to call it a box like that, where all our boxes going to get in, as you can see here. So as you can see here, we need to create this container here, this container in which all our layouts is in. Inside here, we want to create how many boxes do you want to create? Let us count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 9 of them, right? So to create the boxes easily, I'm gonna use Emmet as well. So I'm gonna say dot box like that, dash, $, star. How many boxes do you want to create? 8. And I want to say that inside that inside of every box, it has to start with that name. So as you can see, we have created 9 boxes as we have counted them, and I want to specify each box according to its name. So I'm going to say something like that: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 boxes like that. So I'm gonna target them. First, I'm going to remove default style that comes with the browser. So I'm gonna say margin 0, padding is also 0, then box sizing border box like that. So I'm gonna target my box, my container, and I'm going to give padding first of like 2 rem. Yeah, let me give it a background color so that you can see it. Background color, let's say red. So if we go now and start our live server, so if you go now and start our live server, this is what you will actually see. let me give the view height. Let me give full view height. So I'm gonna give height of 100 view height, so that to be able to cover the entire space, as you can see. So I'm gonna target each box here. The common class here is this one here, box dash. So I'm gonna target that. So I'm gonna say for every class that start with the class name box dash, I want to give background color of light blue. Let's say light blue, because that is the color. So and I'm going to say, let me give a padding, so that to have space inside our box, inside of each box, so that to have a space inside of each box. And I'm just going to give it 2 rem. Yeah, and if you don't know about rem, 1 rem is equal to 16 pixels. As you can see right now, this is how it looks. And I'm going to give a border radius to each box. So I'm going to say border radius of like 7 pixels. I don't want it to be so big. As you can see, I'm going to target the parent container here. As you can see, this is the parent container. It is where we have to apply our grid. So I'm going to say, for now, I'm going to say display grid, so that we can have our grid layout. So I'm going to say display grid, and nothing is happened. But if you will inspect in your browser, if you go into if you see this thing, as you can see, if you see this thing, it means that we have a grid in our layout. So I'm gonna define the rows and columns. So I'm gonna say, for now, let me remove this color first. Let me remove it like that. So I'm gonna say, we need to have 4 columns, right? So I'm gonna say grid template column. How many of them? I want to have 4 rows of equal units. So I'm gonna have 4, 1 FR. So look how they look right now. So to be able to see them clear, I'll give a gap to it. So I'm gonna give a gap of like 1 rem, 16 pixels. That's what it means. Looks how it looks right now. So again, how many rows that we want to create? If you look into our design, actually, as I said, it doesn't matter. Some people may think 1, 2, 3 rows, right? But all I want to do, I'm going to generate rows automatically. So I'm gonna say grid auto rows. I want to generate rows automatically, depending on the height and the width of the box, of each box. So I'm gonna say but I'm going to give the parameter minimax. It has to the height, it has to start around like 108 pixels. For at least each row has to have that. And another row, let me give auto. Like that. So what I've said here, I want to have at least a single rows of 108 pixels, and give another row if necessary. It means auto. So I think we are done with our grid. But our grid does not seems exactly as it looks right now. That's what we are getting. That's where we are getting right now. Okay, so let's have a look onto our first box. Our first box, we can assume that it has one column, as you can see. How many columns? How many rows it has? Like two columns. We can literally say that. So let's do that. So I'm gonna target the first box. So I'm gonna say our first box, we want to have grid row. I mean a grid column. So because it has one column, I'm gonna say span 1. How many rows do we have said? We have said we want it to have a grid row of 2 rows. So I'm gonna say span 2. So let's see it now on our browser. So let's see it now in our browser. As you can see, looks how it expand right now. So one column, we have how many rows? 2 rows, right? So let's again target this 4 column. I mean let's again target this box number 4. How many column it has? It has 1 column. It has how many rows? Let's assume that it has 2 rows. As you can see, 1, because we want it to cover 2 rows. So I'm gonna target that as well. So I'm gonna say dot box 2. I'm gonna say grid column span 1. Yeah, because we want it to have a single column, but on the row we want it to span twice. So I'm gonna say span 2. Let's have a look right now. So I have mistaken. I target box 2 instead of box 4. It has to be box 4. Let's have a look right now. As you can see, so let us target again our last row, which is let's again target our last box, which is 8 box, right? And how many rows we want it to cover? We want it to cover 2 column, right? And 1 row. So let me target box number 8. So I'm gonna say dot box 8 grid. I'm gonna say grid column span 2 times. How many rows do we want? We can literally it is not necessary for you to specify if you don't have to change anything. You don't have to specify anything. As you can see, everything looks cool right now. As I said, you can even add 1 more row if you want, because you didn't specify a specific rows, because you have said auto here. It means you can even increase the row. Let me say like a grid rows. Let me say span 2 to see how it is going to appear. Span, I want to say span 2. Let's see in our design. Let's have a look right now. As you can see, if we say span 2, it extends. So as I said, sometimes you don't have to worry about rows and column that much. So I think this is pretty much it for this video. I think everything I think everything looks so cool right now, as you can see. So if you find any value in this video, I highly recommend you guys to subscribe to my YouTube channel, give like to this video as well. With that said, let me end up this video here, and I hope to see you in another video.